How are you? So the change process of the innovation of that I've chosen is electric cars. Electric cars are rooted in materialistic perspectives. They're aimed at improving economic production as well as technology. Now, as William Ogburn stated, material culture changes much faster than non-material aspects of culture with the electric car and the automobile industry being material based. This change process for electric cars is linear. It's linear because if you look at the history of the automobile industry as a whole, we started with horse and carriages, and then we progressed to the actual automobile that was run by a combustion engine, and then we, over time, have refined the engine to produce a much more efficient vehicle, and now electricity is being the source of power. And the key thing here is that once the automobile was advanced through a specific technology or means, it never reverted to previous states within that change process. It didn't go back to previous states. So the theory that the electric car of the electric powered automobile would be a functionalist perspective. It's a functionalist perspective because the change is born out of necessity. It's born out of necessity from climate change, number one, and number two, a growing population. Now, due to the automobile being a large contributor toward climate change, people are beginning to see the destructive qualities of a traditional combustion engine car and the benefits to transferring over to an electrically powered vehicle. Now, the origin of this social change of electric vehicles is based on strains within the system, which is environmental change in the shifting populations. Collectively, cars and trucks account for nearly 1/5 of all U.S. emissions, which is a drastic number. 1/5 of all U.S. emissions, which is 24 pounds of carbon dioxide and other gases for every gallon of gas. This is drastic. And so the origin of the electric car is born from these strains. It started with the Nissan. Nissan created the Nissan Prius. Hybrid cars were made, and the Prius was one of the largest best-selling hybrid vehicles available about quite a few years ago. And then we have now transitioned into electric cars, with Tesla being one of the best-selling electric car companies currently. They actually have really started the movement toward electric vehicles. So with the strains of higher temperatures worldwide, our own country are willing to move over toward electrically powered vehicles due to the need for improving the social structure. Now, the change agents within this change process would be the car companies themselves. Tesla being one of the biggest right there. Audi, Volkswagen, Mercedes, German car companies. They're all working but they're competing with Tesla right now. They're currently in the process of making electric powered vehicles. Audi just released theirs actually, and then you look at other car companies, American car companies. Like Nissan, they released their Nissan Leaf, which is an electric powered vehicle, and other American car companies are cashing up here. So that's great. But the change goal is to change the attitudes of the people. Car companies want to change the attitudes, the values and the norms within society. Tesla wants to do this. Absolutely wants to do this. They want to stress the importance of their vehicles for the environmental benefits over traditional gas-powered vehicles. So they want to change the values of society for valuing the environment, and they're doing a pretty great job at it. The target population would be the middle class and the upper class, with also now lately the lower middle class due to reductions in the price point of electric cars and specifically Tesla vehicles. But the change strategy, it would be a facilitative strategy. Tesla wants it's empowering the people to have the option of adopting an electric EV vehicle. They're giving them the means to do this by lowering the price point, as I just said, and they're making them aesthetically pleasing, physically aesthetically pleasing, and very energy efficient over long distances, which is allowing people to want to adopt these vehicles. People within society now truly have an understanding that global climate change is a very real thing, and so that is helping. But Tesla's also helping them to understand that they can save on gas prices while having an attractive looking car, and an energy efficient car, and those three reasons are why it's a facilitative strategy that these car companies are using. Also, Tesla wants to. They're working with other car companies. The CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, actually is releasing He's releasing his patents for free, open to other car companies to use. He's doing this because he wants other car companies to make the switch over to electrically powered vehicles. So it's a very great, real thing, and a very effective method. The social conditions that are the catalyst for this innovation is really our society's experience with climate change. Climate change with the ice cap meltings, that's been a really big message that's been spread through mass media. And so people are finally waking up to the idea that it's a real thing, as well as, water being more scarce in certain parts of the country, and gas-powered vehicles, just knowing that they release carbon dioxide directly into the atmosphere is a main factor in making people want to adopt more energy-efficient vehicles. They see the need. They do see the need. The type of process via which this innovation of electric cars is being diffused is through basically mostly the mass media, social media in particular, but the internet in general, and also the television, but mostly the internet and social media in particular. There was a study done where they were car companies were trying to detect, where automobile buyers, where they were seeing ads and whether they were going to purchase these cars and what motivated them to look at certain cars. And they discovered that 84% of automobile buyers are on Facebook, and 66% of those buyers that were on Facebook and saw an ad by a certain car company clicked on those ads. This is a huge factor in sales of cars toward society. And it's such a great means of communication between car companies and society. Their ability to communicate has improved drastically. The characteristics of the social networks that are spreading this innovation are composed of both similar and dissimilar actors. The similar actors are similar in the way that they have the financial means to actually purchase these vehicles, especially higher price points vehicles, such as Tesla vehicles, and just overall they're more wealthy. And so they're all pretty similar in that way. But the way that the other dissimilar actors are dissimilar is that they are all into the idea of electric cars, and they all they like the idea of electric vehicles, and the only problem is they differ in their financial capabilities and infrastructural capabilities, and but overall they all wish to and like the idea to purchase an EV vehicle, although some of them may not be able to do so due to mostly financial reasons. And now the effectiveness of the change strategy, a facilitative strategy that's been used by car companies, has been overall pretty great. There was a study done by a Swiss global financial services company called UBS, and they surveyed 10,000 consumers. And what they came to the realization of was that these consumers have strong positive interest in the idea of electric cars, like I was just talking about the dissimilar actors. And another statistic that's pretty interesting is that over 1 million electric cars were sold in 2017, which was last year, which is a new record. So it's going up drastically. And half of those global sales were in China. So China is a huge contributor to the production and the revenue income of these companies. Now the total amount of electric cars on the road has surpassed 3 million worldwide, which is an expansion of over 50% from 2016. Overall, electric cars are being accepted worldwide as the way of the future. Now, the end result of this change effort is that there is no ending right now. I think it's an ongoing process, and right now we're right in the middle of it. It's right in the middle of the process of complete diffusion into society. They're projecting that by 2060, approximately 90% of U.S. cars will be electric. 90% will be electric. That's almost total diffusion into society. And the price point of these cars is overall decreasing, which is allowing it to be more easily attained by the lower middle class citizens as well as the middle class citizens. It's allowing it to be more easily obtained. So this is helping drastically to improve the ability for diffusion into society, and giving people the ability to have the option of transferring over to electric powered vehicles. So yeah, thank you.